Dear little dude, hello, it's me, your father. You, little dude, have reached an exciting milestone because as of this week, you are at week 28. You are in the third trimester, and you're actually at week 28. I counted, I made sure. You are the size of an eggplant this week, which is a disgusting vegetable, but you're adorable, and your name this week is Richard Ficus. I am not going to explain that joke for the second week in a row. I will just point out your mom came up with this. So she thinks it's hilarious. I also think it's hilarious, but if you get offended later, you can blame her. I am so excited to talk to you this week about another topic that has been very important to me as I've been starting a business, as I'm getting ready to be your dad, which is the topic of realness. A couple of years ago, I was sitting at my computer and I had these note cards. These note cards are how I take notes all the time, and they have little things. Like, for example, I'm supposed to remind you about the subscriber count. Little dude, 9 people have subscribed to listen to our conversation. 9! That's almost 1 million. And in fact, according to my math, if we continue at this pace indefinitely, eventually the universe will run out of energy. But we will have all the viewers, and that's what matters. So we're talking about realness this week, and realness is something that's really important to me because a couple years ago I was just writing notes on a notepad, and I was listening to one of my former inspirations, one of the former people who really, really spoke to me, and that was Kanye West. Now, when you see this, Kanye West will be a very interesting person to tell you who they used to be. Kanye will probably still be famous if he's still alive, but I have no idea what Kanye will be doing because every 5 years, Kanye West is like an entirely different human being. So when I wrote this, Kanye West was like a rapper who people really liked his music, and now he's like a whole bunch of other things, and also he's not married to Kim Kardashian anymore. We can get into that later, little dude. Here's the point. I wrote down 3 words that I think are the key to being a good public figure, and I think they're the same for being a good parent or a good human being. And here are the 3. Last week's word was confidence. This week's word is realness. And I'm going to leave you in suspense to find out what the 3rd word was. We're going to talk about it next week. But realness for me is really important. When I listened to Kanye, Kanye would tell you about how he was insecure. Kanye would tell you about how he struggled. And I always really found that was very relatable. There are a lot of people, I've been a speaker for a long time, and there are a lot of people in the speaker world who think that you're supposed to put on the speaker face. That like, here is the persona, I am a speaker, go be inspirational, go do all those things. And you know what? People are making a lot more money than I do doing that, and that's great. Good for them. But I just realized a long time ago that wasn't really what spoke to me. What always spoke to me was being able to see someone who was like a human talking to me, where I could feel like, oh, that's pretty close to probably who they are behind the scenes. There's a Kanye line about, I'm on TV talking like it's just you and me, which, by the way, little dude, is basically the premise of this whole thing. So thank you, Kanye, or the old Kanye. I miss the old Kanye. This is a very scattered episode, but here's what I mean to say about realness, little dude. It is very easy to put on a persona that you have it all figured out. It is very easy to put on the persona of, look at me, I'm successful, I'm an entrepreneur, or I have a wife and a kid, or I have all of these things. But life is struggle, and everybody knows that. Everybody's aware of it on some level, that life is struggle. So you can make it out like you're not struggling, but all that really means is you're just acting. And I don't think there's a lot of value in that. I think there's value in realness. So here's my little moment of realness for you, little dude. This week, your dad, me, I created this summer summer student leadership training that I'm promoting to a whole bunch of people. And I have been working for a while. I did a promo video, came up with the concept, came up with the pricing, came up with all of the promotional materials, all the things you do when you do a training. And then I did the scariest part of that, which is I sent it out to the world. And the reason why that's so scary is because the moment you send something out into the world, people may or may not like it. They may or may not like what you have to say. They may or may not like you. And I told your mom about this, and she's like, well, you know, when people reject something, when they reject something you're selling, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting the thing you're selling. And I said that works really well if you're not in my line of business where I'm literally just selling me. I'm literally, I'm literally just selling the product that is whatever is in my brain. But it's scary, little man, and I will be honest with you even further. I have not checked my inbox after sending out all the emails to everyone because I've just been so afraid, because your dad sometimes is anxious and sometimes that makes him a little bit of a coward. And that's real. That's real, my man. And so as you are watching this, I hope in whatever you're doing this week, whatever age you happen to be, I hope that you understand that you will connect better to others when you are your unvarnished self. Now, if you're a mess, realness might have to have a little bit of a filter. Because if you're a mess, people will be like, that's great, I'm gonna just be over here while you go do that. So if you're a mess, try to figure your stuff out before you are real. But it's okay to say, right now, I'm a little bit of a mess. People will connect with you more and they will appreciate the authenticity, or at least that is what I've figured out so far. I might be wrong. I never claimed that this is like truth. It's just what's in my head and what I'm saying at any given time in any given week. So with that, I'm going to finish off this week's episode. This is, of course, an episode, a series where a dad talks to his son. And I realized I'm really missing the biggest opportunity from this, which is dad jokes. So every week you get a dad joke now. And little man, do you know what makes a joke a dad joke? A joke becomes a dad joke when the punchline is apparent. Think about it. You're welcome, everybody who watched that. There will be more of these coming up. Little dude, I hope you're having an amazing week. I love you. I am so excited to hold you in my arms in just a few weeks. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you next week.